Hey, it's Angelina. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys my favorite movies of all time. I have most of them on DVD, so I will be showing them. If you've seen my channel before, I am a physical media pop culture channel. When I was figuring out my favorite movies, I was very specific. I was like, okay, what movies would I want to take with me anywhere I go, that I would always want to be able to have on hand with me for my entire life. So I got down to like 23. There's two movies that I do not have physicals of because they are streaming movies, but so I'll probably say those first so I don't forget. I do want to preface this with saying mainly, if you see my channel, I am a nostalgia channel. My love of movies mainly stems from nostalgia from them. So this is not a like Criterion Collection type of favorite movie thing. This is gonna have some random ass kids movies. This is kind of off the cuff, so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be saying about each movie, but I will try to give some explanation about why I love them. I probably won't really get into what it's about. Maybe I will for some of them. I always have my letter box down below because this is not in order of like from least to most or anything, but if you go to my letterbox, I do have my top four on there, and then I have this whole list. And if you want to go and see what the movies are about or whatever, more in-depth explanation, you can. I'm just prefacing with that this is not like, these movies are kind of silly, goofy movies, if you get my drift. My first two that I'm gonna say, because I don't have the physical, is Dumpling. This is a movie starring Jennifer Aniston. It's based off a book that is pretty much about a girl who like grows up loving Dolly Parton. Her mom is a pageant queen, and then she wants to join the pageant, even though she doesn't fit the typical beauty standards of someone who would be in a pageant. This movie is a Netflix movie. This movie kind of like catapulted my love for Dolly Parton, and if you know me, you know how much I love Dolly Parton. I literally have her name tattooed on me. This movie came out in I think 2018, and like it just solidified my love for Dolly Parton. It made me love just like how I could relate to the character, and just I don't know. It just is a really important movie to me. I've seen it a handful of times. It's made me cry. This is a movie that has definitely made me cry before. So yeah, first, Dumpling. My second movie is Taylor Swift Eras Tour. This is definitely probably, maybe it's not the longest. I think it's probably one of the longest movies. I've seen this movie at least 3 or 4 times, and then I go back and watch bits and pieces of it pretty consistently. If you know me, you know how much I love Taylor Swift, and I feel like this movie just like encapsulates all her tours, because she has a movie for like most of her tours aside from the Red Tour. And I just love how the Eras Tour, I can go and I can watch this one and I can get a taste of all the eras. And I think it's a good movie if you are, I mean, it is 3 hours long, so maybe if you're trying to get into Taylor, this isn't. But I would say, like, if you're willing to and you want to see kind of what her thing is, her deal, I feel like this is a good entry point, just so you can get like all the eras packed into like one watch, without having to sit and listen to like 13 plus hours of music. You just get a little taste of each era. This movie is just all encompassing of Taylor, so I feel like that's why this is shot to the top of my list of not only my favorite movies of all time, but also of my favorite Taylor Swift tours and my favorite Taylor Swift tour movies. Now let's get into the physicals. Again, this is in no specific order, but hopefully this thing doesn't fall. So first we have Monster House. I vividly remember seeing this movie for the first time, not in full. I remember being at like Best Buy when like I think it was when 3D TVs came out, and they were like playing this on it, and I remember I had wanted to see it, but I never got to see it in theaters. And I so badly just wanted to sit down and watch it in the Best Buy. I love this movie. I think the last time I watched it, I actually watched it with a couple Halloweens ago with my grandparents, my mom, my niece, and my brother. And I love it. It's just like another criteria I had for what my favorite movies were if someone told me that they haven't seen that movie, how much would I be begging them to, like, let's watch it, like, let's watch it. And this is definitely one where somebody is around my house at Halloween time and they're like, I have never seen Monster House. I would be like, we need to watch it. It's so good. It's about like a haunted house, so if you're into like haunted house things, I love the animation in this movie. I know some people feel some type of way about it. I love the animation of this movie though, still to this day. Yeah, there's another movie that I feel like is in this that I feel like is kind of similar to like it, so I'm like, yeah, we'll get to that. But I love Monster House. Oh, this one is the one that's kind of similar to Monster House, and it's Paranorman. These types of Halloween movies are just peak Halloween October night movies to me, like genuinely. So I have Paranorman. I love this movie. I feel like I've watched it like every single year almost since it came out. It's another one movie that I'm always being like, if you haven't seen this, like, we have to freaking watch it. I love the art style in it. Like, there's Coraline people and then there's like Corpse Bride people. I'm Paranorman. I love this one. I love, like, it has like witchy stuff, it has zombie type stuff, ghost type stuff, like monster movie type stuff. Like, I just love it. It's hilarious. The art style in this, I would say, is a little more ugly than like Monster House, but I kind of think it's also kind of intentional. But I love this movie so much. Again, if you haven't seen Paranorman, put this on your watch list for this Halloween season. It is a great movie. I've never seen anyone dislike. I'm sure people dislike this movie. I'm sure people on Letterboxd, but from talking to people and seeing online, I've never seen anybody like actively be like, this is not a good movie, because it's a great movie. I have Now and Then. I didn't see this movie until a couple years ago. This is a movie that I definitely wish I would have grown up watching. The only thing I will say about this movie is I don't feel like we needed the now. You'll get that if you watch the movie. I don't think we need, even though I love me some Demi Moore, I don't feel like we needed the now. I feel like they could have just had the then, but I also get why they did it, because then if they didn't, maybe it would have been just like a, but I don't think we needed the now. But I just love this. I think it, just the like childhood summertime, I think the coming of age girlhood. I love a coming of age movie. You'll see that in this. I love coming of age movies. And I feel like I watched this by myself. I watched this one, then I watched it with my sister, then I watched it with my niece. Always being like another one where I'm like, oh my god, let's watch it. Next we have Night at the Museum Collection. This is, I love this. This is one of my favorite trilogies, but the specific one I'm talking about that's one of my favorites is the second one, the Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian. That one's not a lot of people's favorite because Robin Williams isn't in it as much, but I just think it's so funny, and I've always like loved the Smithsonian. I've never been there, but I just find I just like, that's my favorite museum. So I like that, and I don't know, it's one of my favorite like adventure movies. Yeah, I feel like everyone's seen at least one of the Night Museum's movies, right? I don't know. But we have Napoleon Dynamite. This is one of the ultimate nostalgia movies for me. I have very, very vivid memories of watching this in childhood. It's still to this day one of the funniest movies. This is another like coming of age, kind of day in the life movie, and I think it's one of the best of its genre, the most well done. I don't think the magic this movie holds, the simplicity, don't think it could ever really be recaptured. Like there's something was bubbling in 2004 that just cannot be recreated. It's one of the funniest movies. Again, like this is one where if somebody tells me they haven't seen it, I'm in literal like shock, because to me I'm like, this is like one of the most famous movies ever, right? Like I love this movie so much. I have Luca. I've actually only seen this movie one time, and it was it maybe last summer or the summer before. I'm not I've I've kind of grown out of Disney a little bit. Like I'm not somebody who's fiending for whatever the next Disney release is. If I'm bored enough, maybe I'll watch one. And that's kind of what I was interested in seeing this, because you'll see I just love kind of the island vibe in movies. The like, yeah. So I wanted to. This is one that I actually did want to see, and I found like the concept interesting. Um, and I ended up just watching it on a whim one day when I was babysitting, and the baby was asleep. She didn't even watch it with me, but I just was like, I loved it so much. I thought it was such a pretty movie. I was genuinely like encapsulated by the story and interested in what was happening and what was going to happen next. Um, yeah, and again, this is a kind of another coming of age movie about. I feel this is a really good boyhood movie. Um, I wouldn't know, but I would think, in my opinion, seems like a pretty cool boyhood movie. I just love it. If you haven't seen Luca, I would recommend it. And if you're someone like me that's like, I'm not really checking for Disney that much anymore, I would be like, this is the one to watch. It's just so pretty. It's such a pretty movie. So we have Hocus Pocus. As you can tell, I love me a good nostalgic Halloweeny movie. This is probably one of the movies I've seen the most in my life. I literally watch it every year. I've watched it every year on September 1st for probably the last 6 years. Like, and I don't even want to get into Hocus Pocus 2. It was funny, but, you know. But this, like, I do feel like this is partially kind of one of the movies that you will only get you would only get the love for it that it has every Halloween season if you grew up watching it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like when I show this, if this isn't one that I kind of like go out of my way to show people, because I kind of feel like it's one of the ones where it's like, if you didn't grow up with it, you kind of, I don't feel like sometimes like you just won't understand. But it's one that's like, for me, like an all-timer. Like, this is one that I'm like, I need to have this on hand. It's definitely a Halloween comfort movie. Next, we have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. There is another Harry Potter movie, in here there's two, but this is just one of the most comforting, nostalgic movies to me. It's so pretty. It's one of those ones where it's like, I know this movie like the back of my hand, so I can just sit back and watch it and sit in comfort, and I love it so much. This is like the original like DVD. This is a Philosopher's, Sorcerers, whatever. I just love this movie so much. Like, I know, like, I hate that we can't really love Harry Potter in the way that we used to because of J.K. Rowling, but I just can't. This movie just can't be denied, and that's just the truth of it. Like, this movie, I will get random. Like, whenever I feel my most coziest, I'm just like, oh my god, I just want to sit back and watch Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Like, oh my god, this is just, it's the most like warm blanket to movie to me. Like, I don't know, like, I just love it. I'm really into like witchy stuff, huh? Like it's witchy wizard and coming of age and music. Next we have the Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds tour. This is another one that like A lot of it stems from nostalgia. I just like, this is one that was the case. It has that little, this is one that I just like. I have 2 copies of this, I think. I don't think I gave the other one away. I don't even know how to explain it. I just like, this is like one of my favorite concert movies of all time. I love a concert movie if it's an artist that I like, and I remember this one from when I was a kid. And I don't even know what to say, because I feel like if you know, you know. Like, there's just something about this tour movie. I never got to see the tour in person, but there's just like something about it. I can't even explain it. It's great. I would honestly say, even if you don't even know anything about Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus, just watch this. It's so cute. Next, relating to that, we have the Hannah Montana movie. This movie was such a big deal when it came out. I get to see it in theaters, but this is a movie, I've seen this movie countless amounts of times. I can quote this movie like nobody's business. Like, you tell me this movie, I could give you 10 quotes from it in a row. I just love this movie. Another one that's just like so comforting to me, one I will take with me anywhere. It like started my love for like southern, like the Tennessee and stuff. So great movie. And people who have never even seen the show or weren't fans of the show, I've seen compliment this movie. So this movie gave us the climb, it gave us the hold on, throw down. Like, come on now, like, all timer. And again, another coming of age type movie. So we have another music type movie, Grease. This is one of my earliest movies I remember seeing. My mom loved Grease growing up, so we would always watch it. We had the VHS. I've talked about it before in other videos, but this is another one of those movies that's just like, the soundtrack is just phenomenal. I think Danny Zuko was one of my first like crushes when I was like a little girl. Like, I was literally like 5, and I had a crush on John Travolta, specifically in this movie. Obviously this movie kind of gets dogged on now because people go back and they're like, what are these 40-year-olds doing playing teenagers? And they're so right for that, but it's just like, there's just a magic to it. The music is literally electrifying. It's so great. I love Olivia Newton-John. Like, again, another movie that just cannot be denied. Great. Next, this is the Harry Potter 8 film thing, but the movie I'm specifically talking about is The Prisoner of Azkaban. Again, another movie cannot be denied. I have never met one person who's seen the Harry Potter movies and doesn't think that Prisoner of Azkaban is one of the best, if not the best. It is, again, a great autumn movie. I just love a nice cozy movie. I love the storyline of this one. It's so enticing. Again, I never read the books, but I'm listening to them on audio right now, and I cannot wait to get to Prisoner of Azkaban. Just such a great movie. So many great actors, so many great moments. I feel like if you like movies, you've seen the Harry Potter movies, right? So I don't feel like I need to go too into it. But this is Prisoner. The one I'm referring to showing this is Prisoner of Azkaban. One of the best. And I feel like it's, for nostalgia, it goes Philosopher's Stone and then Prisoner of Azkaban. For quality, though, I would go Prisoner of Azkaban, Philosopher's Stone. Next, we have The Florida Project. I've only, how many times have I seen this movie? 2 or 3 times. I went back and watched clips. One of the most heartbreaking but beautiful movies. This is one of my favorites, but I haven't watched it that many times because it makes me so sad, especially the end. If you've seen the end, if you've seen this movie, you've seen the end, I cannot help but bawl my eyes out each time. I watched this with my niece, and at the end of the movie I just started crying and I was so embarrassed. But like a scene with her and her friend, if you know, when she goes to her friend's house, that's all I'm gonna say. Ball my freaking eyes out. Like, if you grew up with a childhood friend that you no longer have any way to see, or you haven't been able to be with in years, this movie will wreck you. If you had those childhood summer friends, oh my god, I'm writing a poetry book right now, and this movie is one of the main things that inspired me to write that poetry book. It's about like childhood girlhood, childhood friends. This movie's just amazing. Sean Baker, he should have been getting the Oscar for this. Anora, it's a good movie. This should have been winning all the awards. This is truly a beautifully made. I want to go to the freaking motel that it was filmed at so freaking bad. I hope I get to this year. I'm trying to make it happen. I just want to see where this was filmed. It's just great. If you haven't seen The Florida Project, watch it. I promise you. Like, I can't express that enough. Next we have Uptown Girls. Again, another coming of age movie. We're not surprised. One of my favorite movies of all time. This is top 4. I can tell you that right now. Maybe number 1 movie of all time. Again, a movie I've seen countless times. A movie I can quote. There are so many lines from this movie that I want to get like tattooed on me, because it's just, I feel like also the art, kind of like the cinematography in this movie is one of the most underrated things of all time. Each frame of this movie could be made into a painting. Like, it is such a beautiful movie. And like Brittany Murphy and Dakota Fanning, like, outsold, of course. Like, I just love this movie so much. We have a big ass poster of it downstairs, because everyone knows how much this movie just means to me. Like, it's magical. If you know the song Coney Island by Taylor Swift, and you like that song, and you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie. If you like Coney Island by Taylor Swift and haven't seen this movie, watch this movie. Beautiful, just gorgeous. A classic, Wizard of Oz. I liked Wizard of Oz before Wicked was a thing. No, truly, like, if you've seen my other videos about physical media, you know I have Wizard of Oz on VHS and all. Like, God, I love Wizard of Oz. Again, probably one of my earliest movies I ever watched. It's scary. It scares me, but I love it. Like, this movie used to scare me. I used to be terrified of the Wicked Witch of the West. The Wicked Witch of the West terrified me, but I just love this movie. My mom dressed all of us siblings up as these characters one year for Halloween when I was like 1 or 2. I think I was 1. I was the Lion. I just love The Wizard of Oz. I just feel like, how can you just go your whole life and never see this movie? People are like, how can you go your whole life and never seen Star Wars? How can you go your whole life and never just sit down and watch The Wizard of Oz? Like, coming out, it's such a pretty movie. Again, I watched it with my 3-year-old niece, some of it, and her commentary of it was so funny. But yeah, again, another movie, seen countless times. Love Dorothy, one of my favorite cinematic characters of all time. I love Another World movie. I love it. A little adventure, Another World type movie. Wizard of Oz. Next we have Cars. Anyone who knows me knows I fucking love this movie. I don't know why. I think it's because I just have this fascination with like road trip type things and like life on the road, and it's literally a movie where every character is a car, so it's kind of just driving. It has like the small town feel with Radiator Springs. I just love this movie so much. This movie, people talk so much shit on this movie, and I get it. It's silly, it's goofy, why are they all cars? How do they work? I get it, but I don't care. I'm not thinking of that when I'm watching this fucking movie. I'm thinking of Life is a Highway, Rascal Flats, and the small little R town, James Taylor, Radiator Springs. Also, amazing soundtrack. I like Route 66, R Town, Real Gone. The way this movie starts, and you know what's funny? I'm obsessed with this movie. I've never seen the other two because I don't want. If I end up hating those movies, I feel like it's gonna ruin my love for the first movie. So I'm really scared to watch the other two. So I've never seen the other two because my main thing that I love about this movie is the small town of Radiator Springs and how life is so slow there, and how this like race car comes there and it's like this shit is too slow, you know. And I know those other movies aren't really about that at all, so I feel like I wouldn't love them as much. But I love cars. I have like cars memorabilia. I have the backpack. I have toys. I have clothes. I love cars. I wanted to go on a Route 66 trip purely because of my love for that movie. Aquamarine. This is another very much nostalgic kid thing. But if you know, I hate it. This freaking messed up. If you know anything about me, you know that one of my favorite shows of all time is H2O, Just Add Water. I don't know. I think that's also why I really like Luca, because it kind of is like the mermaid thing, but just he's a sea monster. I love a mermaid thing. Also, the aesthetic, the Y2K beach aesthetic. This invented that. Let's just be honest. The shell, the freaking baby aqua blue. I love it. These, like, so many. Her in the freaking pool, them in the water tower, islands in the sun. Aquamarine, such cute. If you haven't seen this, I don't care how old you are, watch it this summer and tell me that it wasn't just a cutesy experience. Like, it's very, I love it. The freaking, like, there's so many like satisfying parts of this movie. I don't even know how to explain it. There's just so many parts that I'm like, yes, I love that. I love Aquamarine. It's just great. 3 movies left. We have Alice in Wonderland 1999. Specifically, Alice in Wonderland 1999. Not just any Alice in Wonderland. Although I just love Alice in Wonderland in general. I grew up with this Alice in Wonderland. This is another one where I'm like, if you didn't grow up with this, you would probably watch this and be like, girl, what are you on? What were you smoking when you were 5 years old, thinking that this movie was it and still thinking it now? But no, this is the best adaptation of Alice in Wonderland. It's better than Disney's. She has the yellow dress in it. It's like a 3-hour long movie. Maybe 2.5. I don't know. So many amazing actors. And it takes the story of Alice in Wonderland and Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass and puts together. That's why it's so long. This one gives you the whole story. Like, if you read the book and you want to watch a movie that is telling you the whole story of the book in movie form, this is the one to watch. It's weird, but it's supposed to be. It's Alice in Wonderland. It's not supposed to look weird. It's supposed to not make sense. It's great. One of the best Alice in Wonderlands. I will ride for this movie till the end of time. I love also Tina I don't know how to say her name. Marjangino. She's in 2 of my favorite movies of all time. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Like, come on. It's great. So we have 8-Bit Christmas. This is such a random movie that I'm like attached to. Like, I feel like out of all these, this is one where I'm like, I genuinely am like, why the hell do I like this movie so much? Like, I almost don't understand it. This is the one that was in, I think, HBO Max release. It released a couple of years ago, like 2021 or something, on HBO Max. And this is another one where I'm like, we did not need the now. We could have just stayed with the then. It's that fine. I just love this movie so much. I think it's hilarious. I try to get everyone to watch it. I feel like I've watched it almost every single year since it's come out. I love it so much. I think it's just hilarious. I did not grow up in the 80s, and that's where this takes place, but there's just something. It's funny. It has Steve Zahn in it. Like, come on. Like, he plays the dad. Like, come on. I don't even know what to say. It's just great. I don't know what to say because I don't understand my love for it either. I don't know why I fucking love this movie so much. I just do. So yeah. Lastly, this is the last movie. We have 9 to 5. There are definitely some. There's another one. I have one more after this, but I don't have the DVD for it. But it has two of these people in it, so it reminded me of it. But anyway, 9 to 5. Another one where if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna be like, let's sit down and watch it. Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda. Enough said. Him too. He just died recently. I forgot his name though. But 9 to 5. What more can I say? You guys know I love Dolly Parton. If you love Dolly Parton, if you're obsessed with Dolly Parton like I am, this is gonna be one of your favorite movies of all time. Like, it just has to be. I love it. I've seen this like at least 10 times. Because I only just saw it in like 2019. But yeah. Love it. Okay. The last movie that I had forgotten about, and it's related to 9 to 5 because it has a lot of the same people in it, is Beverly Hillbillies, the movie. I've never seen the show. I really don't have a desire to see the show. It's really hard for me to get into black and white stuff. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and I feel like most of that show is in black and white, right? Also because I love the actors in the movie, and I know it's not the same actors, but the Beverly Hillbillies movies, this is another one where I'm like, you haven't seen it, let's watch it. It's hilarious. So many great actors and actresses. So many funny moments. I just love Beverly Hillbillies. It's definitely my favorite movies of all time. The list will be on my Letterboxd. I always have my Letterboxd linked down below. I'm so happy that I was able to make this video. Hopefully I don't have any mess ups and we can get it all uploaded and we'll be fine. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are any of these your favorite movies? Do you understand what I mean, or do you think I'm ridiculous? If you think any of these movies are stupid, I don't want to hear it. You're not going to change my opinion on these movies, so just leave it. I'm very unique with my movie interests. But anyway, yeah, that's it. I hope to film some more videos in the coming week, but I don't make any promises. I'll see you guys later. I don't know why I'm dragging this on. It's already 34 minutes. Okay, bye. See you guys later.